I also was on Battle Line with Alan Nathan. I've been on this show a few times, and we put the clips up on our YouTube channel. He called me and he said he had two topics he wants to talk about. One is, what do I think of the proposed spending cuts from Republicans? And two is birther stuff. And I said, fine, I'll talk about whatever you want. First of all, we got into a whole thing about Amtrak, and he started saying, I said I disagree with defunding Amtrak. We're already embarrassingly behind on rail. We're already, a 60-mile-an-hour train is what we have from here to New York City. What sense does that make? And he started saying, well, Amtrak is mismanaged. And I said, fine, then get somebody else to manage it, but don't take the money away. We're going to get even further behind if that's the way we continue here. Taking money away from essentially the only even slight possibility. We've already gotten 2 Republican Midwest governors saying, Amtrak and high-speed rail? I don't want to fund that. I don't have any people in my states. There's no population density. What do I need trains for? So that was one. And then we got into birther stuff. And we talked about birthers, and Alan Nathan was going on and on about, I'll even pull up a little bit of this clip. He was just going on and on about how Neil Abercrombie said he was going to have certain documents, and then now he doesn't have them. And I was basically just saying, I don't care what Neil Abercrombie says. I don't understand why we're even talking about this. Really, seemingly no reason to do so. And obviously my computer's not even plugged in. Lewis, filibuster for a second about birthers while I get everything set up over here.
Well, I listened to your clip with Nathan before this, and I must say, he just goes on and on and on, trying to make a point that we've argued countless times is not even a point.
And let's be honest, was Barack Obama not born to a U.S. citizen? Does that not end all controversy? Let's just take a listen.
But now he's brought in more doubt than had previously existed. What's your sense of this?
Yeah, that may be the case. You know, I really don't care about Neil Abercrombie. I'm embarrassed that the birther story even holds the amount of clout that it does, which isn't much, but it still exists. I've interviewed the queen of the birther movement, Orly Tates, a couple of times. She made every claim from Barack Obama's people let the air out of her tire.
Remember that, Lewis. So I just basically, at any opportunity, said, this is the bogus story. Why are we even talking about it? And just after this interview, I saw a clip of Eric Cantor. Now he is denying, he doesn't want to call anybody crazy when he gets the opportunity to say it's crazy talk, the birther movement. Yet, well, let me play the clip for you. You would be surprised to hear he doesn't want to call people names based on his own history, right? Let's take a listen to a little bit of this. This is Eric Cantor on Meet the Press the other day.
There's been a lot of talk about discourse, about how you all can get along a little bit better and do it a little bit more civilly. And I wonder, this is a leadership moment here, okay? There are elements of this country who question the president's citizenship, who think that his birth certificate is inauthentic. Will you call that what it is, which is crazy talk?
David, you know, I mean, a lot of that has been an issue sort of generated by not only the media but others in the country. Most Americans really are beyond that, and they want us to focus.
Is somebody who brings that up just engaging in crazy talk?
Well, David, I don't think it's nice to call anyone crazy.
Is it a legitimate or an illegitimate issue?
So I don't think it's an issue that we need to address at all. I think we need to focus.
His citizenship should never be questioned, in your judgment. Is that what you're saying?
It is not an issue that even needs to be on the policy-making table right now.
Because it's
whatsoever.
illegitimate? I mean, why don't you just call it what it is? I mean, I feel like
again,
there's a lot of Republican leaders who don't want to go as far as to criticize those folks.
I think the president's a citizen of the United States. So
Period.
I love it. I love it. Let's analyze what he's saying here. Do you realize, Lewis, how carefully...
Why is he so afraid to use the term legitimate? It's illegitimate. He can't say it.
There's a number of different issues here. Number one is that even when he's saying, is it an illegitimate issue, he's saying, it's not an issue that we really need to be discussing, right?
Clearly he thinks it's an issue.
Well, he's not saying birthers shouldn't be discussing it. He's just being very specific. It's not really an issue that we need to be talking about in Washington. And then he even goes on as to say, I believe the president is a citizen, right? And if we look carefully at the birther movement, they're not necessarily saying Obama is not currently a citizen. They're saying
he wasn't born here.
He was not. He is not. He doesn't. He is not. What's the word here? I don't even know that eligible is the right word. He did not obtain the citizenship in the way that would make him eligible to be president, right? So from hearing this Eric Cantor interview, I don't actually think Eric Cantor thinks the birther movement is not legitimate. And I don't think he thinks the birthers are crazy. That's just me. That's my sense of it. Do you think that he is using this carefully crafted language that I'm pointing out? Or am I reading too much into this? Definitely.
It's still, as good as he is at saying it, it's still painfully obvious. That
he's treading carefully for a reason.
Right.
I wonder what he's got in his back pocket, birther related. You never know who will come out of the closet next, so to speak, with birther nonsense.
Just get over it.
Move on. This is Lewis's words to you and to me, clearly. So I will move on.
Okay.